Nicole.
Hello? Hi. This isn't really anything. You can vote for Dan Horgan. No.
Hello.
Hey, Dick.
Hey, Don. Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Okay. I'm about to get onto a Zoom meeting here, but I wanted to call you and say I can't make it tomorrow because my granddaughter has to be to work at 6 a.m. So
No,
she'll
no.
be in that car.
All right.
Hey,
Okay.
thing is that we have the
All right.
doctor's appointment.
That's fine.
Well, I got a guy coming here
Okay.
as well, so
Yeah.
so
Okay.
not a good day for me, but maybe you can go by yourself.
Yeah, right. Oh, well, very good.
Friday, what'd you say? Friday, Saturday, Sunday looks open though right now.
Yeah,
So-
I guess the question is that how firm are you on those dates?
Well, right now I'm firm.
Yeah. Because I sort of thinking, okay, well, let me do this here. I'll let you know about. I don't think I can go Saturday. I can't go Saturday,
Okay.
and we'll have to sort of see about Sunday and Friday. We'll have to see about that as well.
Okay. All right. Well, I just probably wanted to I can't talk because I got to go on a Zoom, but I wanted to let you know as soon as I could. Yeah, I just found out from my granddaughter. She got back from work today and then she's off to Oliver's for tonight. She's got to work tomorrow at 6. So, okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Bob.
Anybody else? Oh, there's Sandy.
Yeah, here I am. I'm trying to do 2 things at once. I'm at work all day, but they don't need me. But at 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30, they need me.
Hey, Marilyn.
For October of last year, when we had finished putting Hello,
Hi.
how are you?
Good.
How are
Nice
you?
day. It's a nice day. It was a nice day today.
It was. I've had a pretty bad month, but
You weren't sick, though. It's only computer problems.
oh no, it goes way beyond that.
Oh, gosh, Marilyn.
I'm back revisiting a problem from 2 years ago. I have vertigo.
Oh, no.
Yep, went to Spalding today and they helped me before. And it's brutal, but you just have to push through it, you know.
It's not fun.
No, it isn't.
Is it that French name that begins with an M disease?
Oh, I don't know. It's, you know, the crystals in your inner ear get displaced and it causes you to, you know, have some pretty horrific dizzying spells. And
It's like work right now.
exactly. So what the computer didn't do to me, this is doing.
Oh, gosh.
So I did watch a bit of the video from the month I missed. And I saw that the minutes weren't voted on for July. So I resent them. If anybody wanted to look at them, I don't think there were many changes, if any.
Is that the one that you just sent this afternoon?
Correct.
I can put that. I've only shared the screen once, but I got to do something from Mike today, but I think I can share that. Let me see. I'll try it right now. No, that's his thing. Never mind. Wait a minute here.
I saw that it wasn't voted on because somebody felt that a change had been made, but I think it was such a minor one, I hadn't sent it out.
I did have a question on it, Marilyn.
Okay,
Was July, was that when, I don't know that, was that final report put up in July?
no, apparently from when I watched the video of the August meeting,
Yeah,
the decision was made not to vote on it until people had a chance to see changes to it. But I don't think there were any.
well,
Or you made a
yeah,
change, but it was
Steve
very, very minor.
we substituted Steve Gavin for Tom Barron.
Exactly, yeah.
Also, though, the name that you have there should be different.
Which name now?
The minutes are up right now. I don't know if we're allowed to do this before we start, but
Can you scroll down to Sandra?
Well, the meeting hasn't officially started, has it, Sandy?
no.
I mean, our chairman isn't even
Next page.
with us yet.
Yes. Next page. Yeah, okay. See, that's draft 5-year plan. It's not the draft 5-year plan. It's the Yarmouth Energy Committee Annual Operating Plan dash fiscal year 2021. And then the last sentence in that paragraph I would delete.
The
Yeah,
one,
I'm going to include the plan there.
Well, we can go over that again, but you got that, Marilyn?
well, can you repeat again what you think the title of it should be?
Where it says draft 5-year plan, that
Yes.
should say Yarmouth Energy Committee Annual Operating Plan dash FY 2021.
Okay,
And
And
then
and delete
and
this
then
last.
if we're keeping that in there, I'll delete the last sentence.
okay.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not difficult to do.
I did that just to practice so I could get Mike's PowerPoint.
So you're going to be able to get that up?
I hope so.
Excellent. You always count on you, Sandra. Unbelievable.
Oh, let me forget to start recording.
Well, it says on my screen that you are recording.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize.
Ooh.
I didn't.
I can see Mike and Bob and you. We may not have a quorum yet, Sandy.
Oh, yeah, Steve is on there. We have a quorum.
Here.
Oh, okay. I wasn't seeing everybody. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Hi, Steve. Hi, Marilyn. We're good.
Hi.
Okay. Welcome to the September 1st meeting of Yarmouth Energy Committee, our first one in the fall. Probably, if we're lucky, our one next fall will be live. May I have a motion to approve a remote meeting?
So moved.
Okay, and second?
Second.
Hey, same people, you can't keep doing this.
I will second it.
Thank you, Mike. I'll vote in favor. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? See, any in opposition wouldn't be on, right? Okay, thank you. Let's move to introduce any members of the public who are here. I see Barry, welcome. I see Tara. I know, Tara, you have some remarks to make before you leave. Tara's in grad school. It's September. You know, she's in grad school on top of her regular post at the town. So she has to leave early today, but she had a couple mentions she wanted to make. Tara, are you on mute?
No, she's not on mute. She's on, but
Well, Bob, do you want to deliver your news while we wait for this audio thing with Tara to get figured out?
There
Oh,
she
there's
is.
Tara. Tara, you want to make your comments so that you can leave?
doesn't seem like she's hearing us.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can chat with her.
Thanks, Cindy.
Maybe you could, Sandra, maybe you could just share a little Word document note and say, Tara, we can't hear you.
I know, I'm texting her.
All right.
Yeah, I just sent her a chat. Well, Sandy was, but Sandy knows her cell phone number, so she can text her. Well, Bob, do you want to give your news about your interview tomorrow?
Well, it's not tomorrow, it's on Thursday, in
Or
fact.
Thursday.
And that got changed as a result of my meeting. Some of you, I did not send the emails to all of you. On Friday, I got a frantic email from Lisa, my contact person at the senior center, saying, was I available to do a spot at the media center on either Monday or Wednesday, promoting my energy counseling sessions. And I sort of panicked a little bit and sent out emails to Sandy, Mike, and Joyce, you know, trying to get some information and stuff. Anyway, the upshot of it was I talked to the producer yesterday. Her name is Kate McMahon, and we're doing a Zoom interview on Wednesday. Well, I'm not going into the studio at all. She was very solicitous of my age and saying that I didn't have to go in. And of course, I've got this daughter at home that doesn't let me do anything.
And when you're a celebrity, it's usual for them to come to you.
Yeah. Anyway, I will be doing something. I'm doing an interview announcing the counseling services at the energy counseling services at the senior center. But more importantly, for both Kate McMahon, the person at the media center, and our committee, is, I think, the beginning of our relationship in our outreach program for the whole Solarize program. They are already very interested in helping us do that. When they smelled the money, they they came on board. So we'll have to work out that when we're working out our very specific plans for doing stuff on, I guess it's Channel 98 or Channel 99.
Excuse me, Bob, when they smelled the money, does that mean they're expecting us to pay for advertising on
Well,
that?
I don't know. I don't know. Lisa, I had told Lisa that we had a grant for doing some publicity materials and stuff. I wasn't very specific, and then she told that to Kate. So that's the origin of that. But you know, that's all to be worked out in the future. The important thing is that we will be trying once again to get seniors interested in talking about this. We're going to start off with Mike's announcement. I've already sent that to Kate, Mike's announcement to the select board. And I also sent those FAQs that you sent me. Now, do we have anything else up on, you know, that I can send the URL, and is our email address functional yet?
None of that is functional. I'm hoping to work on that this weekend.
Okay.
Did we make the final approval on the email?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway,
Bob, you could give them those URLs from the compact if you want.
yeah,
and then
okay.
like they can nibble on those, and those will be helpful, and
Yeah.
it'll give us a month to get the EC page in order.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, there are two parts of it. I mean, it's the work that I'm doing, you know, trying to get seniors interested. But I mean, we do have this larger audience that I think I have no idea what Channel 98, Channel 99's watchership or whatever you call it
Skews
is.
elderly.
Hmm?
It skews elderly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good then. But you know, I used to watch it when Leo was the chairman of the Cape Cod Commission. I stopped since then. Not as interesting anymore. But so we'll see on that.
Bob, what form is your meetings at the senior center going to take now?
Well, those are, you see, they're by appointment only. I mean, we're still using that 2 to 4 Monday afternoon time frame, and people are going to be calling Lisa to make an appointment to meet with me, you know, at the opposite ends of a six-foot table out on the veranda of the senior center. They do other activities there already. I happened to drive up past the senior center yesterday during working hours, and there was something going on there. So that's how the senior center is operating now, is, you know, no more than half a dozen people on the veranda there doing whatever they're doing. So I guess 2 to 4 on Monday afternoons will be my time to meet with people.
Okay. Well, thank you, Bob. It's really good news. And as you say, it's potentially the start of some energy programming for the TV station. So well done.
Sarah is on and she hears Joyce.
Okay, Tara, if you're able to just give your comments, then you'll be free to run away. I've explained that to them that you have grad classes as well as your staff position, so that you're not going to be able to hang in late.
So, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I apologize. I've had some technical difficulties. I couldn't hear any of you, so I was kind of floundering.
We said great things.
Okay. I hope so. I just wanted to thank Joyce for getting that email out to Mary Alice regarding the Energy Committee's request on the information from National Grid. I just wanted to kind of reiterate my role here as an Energy Committee attendee. Because there are certain things I'm not able to do. I'm not authorized to make any requests on behalf of the town of Yarmouth. So I am here strictly in a supportive role. I will do whatever I possibly can to help the committee. It's just I am limited in any requests I submit to anybody with regard to anything on behalf of the town. I'm not authorized to speak on behalf of the town or to make a request in that capacity. And I did reach out, I spoke to Mary Alice with regard to requesting Dan's attendance at one of our meetings sooner rather than later. Unfortunately, he is out this week. He had a family emergency, so he won't be in this week. He wasn't able to attend this evening's meeting. He's not here. And hopefully, Mary Alice did, put the request in for his calendar. So hopefully he'll be able to give us an update at the next meeting, even if he's not able to stay for the whole meeting. And what else was I gonna mention? Sorry, I'm a little discombobulated. I was late getting here as well. With regard to a committee standpoint, from this committee standpoint, I sincerely understand some of the frustration that you all may feel with regard to Rich leaving and not having a direct person to contact. And before I forget, I did speak to Rich and he said to say hello to everybody. He's doing very well in East TM. I told him you all shed a few tears when he left. And so he was happy to hear that you're all doing well. So just to kind of update you a little bit further, they are looking to hire an assistant town administrator. So it's just, I also wanted to make sure you all understand too that Dan, as the town administrator, is operating with no assistant town administrator and no director of government operations. So he is, I feel, a little overwhelmed right now, and hopefully we'll be able to get an assistant town administrator on board, and we'll be able to get you some more official updates other than what I'm able to give you. And I can't think of anything else other than the COVID responsibilities, certainly, that are never ending. So by all means, if anybody has any questions, if I can answer them, I'm here for a few minutes anyway, and I would be happy to do so. So thank you for constantly including me. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, Tara, for volunteering.
And I do appreciate all your hard work, really, everybody. Y'all do a great job.
We really do appreciate your work, Tara. One thing I would say about your comment about Dan is I have found Dan is never overwhelmed. He might be overworked, but he is not overwhelmed.
Well, good point, Bob. You're right. He's a strong guy.
Yeah.
Anybody else have questions for Tara?
Yeah, Tara?
Hello.
Yes, one comment. In regard to the senior center,
Okay.
the formal contracts. Okay, they've been approved by the selectmen, but CVEC has not received those contracts back from the town.
From the town on behalf of the senior center?
Yes. Yeah, that's the
Okay.
senior center photovoltaic installation.
Let me write this down. Give me 1 second here.
Sure.
If I don't write it down, I will inevitably not remember it quite the way you would prefer it to come out. So it's with regard to the, go ahead.
To the contracts for the senior center photovoltaic installation. They have been approved by the Board of Selectmen, and the town attorney has provided input to the selectmen for that approval. But CVEC has not received back the signed contracts.
Okay, so.
Okay, so that we need those to move forward.
Okay, CVEC needs the signed contracts.
Yes.
Okay. I do remember working, when we were working with the energy grants, there was a little bit of a delay getting some of the signatures and everything in order before we were able to submit. But I will certainly reach out to Mary Alice and find out, you know, where are we with that? Because I don't have an answer for you, but I absolutely will put it in a request.
Great.
Certainly be happy to do that.
Good. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you. Any other questions for Tara?
I've got one.
Okay.
Tara, thank you for sending the link last month to the MVP program. And I just wondered if I should be reaching out to Kathy Williams or if you have any updates about where that's visioning process and.
Okay. With the visioning process, I do still feel strongly that Kathy Williams would be your best, certainly starting point of contact. I know I mentioned before she's very good at what she does, and she is certainly a good chunk, if not the main piece, as far as maybe the lead person on the visioning for the town. And I think she would absolutely be your best starting point. I'm familiar with it. You know, I was at that meeting last month or the month before, and so yeah, that would be definitely the place that I would start. And if you want me to send her an email, I would be happy to email her, and then I could certainly CC you on that.
That'd be great.
Susan, would you feel comfortable emailing Kathy Williams?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want me to send you her email address, Susan?
Yeah, if it's not obvious.
K. Williams?
It's at yarmouth.ma.us. I'm certainly happy to send that along.
Okay, no, I can do that.
So, okay, so that is something that you're comfortable.
Yes.
Okay.
Susan is a great communicator. You know that.
She is. She absolutely is. I agree.
So, well, Tara, thank you so much. We appreciate your brief appearance. We don't want to interfere with your education, so we'll let you go. But thank you again for coming.
Oh, thank you all. Much appreciated. So I'm going to just probably, I'm going to exit in a couple of minutes. So, but I'm going to hang out for as long as I can and just sit in.
Is there anybody else in public comment? Okay, seeing none, let's move on to our next agenda item, which is the approval of outstanding minutes. You all have had a draft circulated, and Tara has some edits for the part on town energy progress. If you go down to the beginning of the first page, that paragraph, in the second line, where it goes, such as changing the lamping throughout town hall, after the "and" in line 3, Tara would like us to insert, and I've got this in writing for you, Marilyn, so don't worry yet that you have to get it all down right now.
Well, before you continue, is this for August minutes that you wrote?
Oh, sorry, no, these are the, yes, August minutes, yep.
So, you know, you have that. I thought I was just going to be up for the July that wasn't voted on.
Okay, so I'll just, since I've got the draft in the master file right here, I'll just, add that in. Okay, does anybody else have any additions, erasures, qualifications about the August minutes? Nope. I have a new appreciation for Marilyn's job. I mean, I was getting in touch with people to see if I had represented them correctly. And I had great help from Steve with the technical language, with what was needed for the CVEC remarks. So it's a multi-step phase. I realize that. Good for you, Marilyn.
Thank you, Marilyn.
That's crazy.
Okay, so can I have a motion to accept as edited the August minutes?
Are you sure the August minutes were sent out?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes? I can't find them.
They were page turners, Mike. How could you have ignored them?
Let's see,
Oh,
I
they
would-
got, okay, here they are. Yes, you did send them out yesterday.
Mhm.
Yes.
I've just been inundated by Joe Kennedy and Ed Markey here.
Right. Who sent
Eat
them out
locally.
yesterday? Bob?
What?
Joyce.
Is that a motion, Sandy?
No, Mike was just asking who sent him out, and I said Joyce, but I can make a motion
okay.
to accept the minutes of the August meeting as edited.
I'll second that.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Any further discussion on the minutes? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
I abstain.
Abstaining?
Yes,
Okay,
I
Mike's
abstain.
abstaining? Okay,
I don't see them. I don't know if I got them or not, because I did have questions on the July ones.
okay, we're getting to those. Okay, so Marilyn, I'll give you we just had the vote. I'll give you the floor then, Madam Secretary, for the July minutes. Anybody have any feedback for Marilyn on the July minutes?
Well, Mike previously said just to change the heading to be Yarmouth Energy Committee Annual Operating Plan dash fiscal year 2021 and to remove the last line in that paragraph.
Okay. Anyone else have any edits? Okay, seeing none, can I get a motion to approve the minutes with that edit from Mike?
Motion to approve?
Second?
Okay. Further discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, July minutes approved as well. Next item is the Cape Light Compact. Cape Light Compact continues to march along. The staff have had a very busy August. In fact, there was a limitation on vacation the staff could take in August because they had so much to do. That's partly with moving to implement the Cape and Vineyards Electric offering, the CVEO, but also because they got very good news that nevertheless involved more work in that same busy period about being considered for a rural electrification program. That would be millions of dollars in loans that could be a big help to many projects here on the Cape. So the next Compact Board meeting is a virtual meeting, of course, and it's a week from tomorrow on the 9th, and it'll go from 2 to 4:30 if it's the length that we expect. And you're all welcome to join that. The agenda will be posted with the full packet by next Monday, and all you have to do is click on the Zoom to participate. If you do want to make a public comment with the Compact, since that's a larger organization, they ask you to just type it up and send it along to Maggie Downey, and she'll read it at the meeting. And her email's mdowney, DOWNEY, at capelightcompact.org. Okay, and that's pretty much it for the Compact. Steve, do you have any updates on CVEC?
Yes. There was a round 6, there was a formal letter sent out to all of the towns and the various organizations that comprise CVEC, asking for inputs for projects for round 6. So that formally went out to the towns, including Yarmouth. And there was a meeting between Ed Centino and CVEC, Lizargo, to go over some of the data insofar as supply and demand of photovoltaics and energy to the town. So there's an accounting for that to see how much of an appetite the town actually has for new photovoltaic installations. So that occurred. The senior center, as I mentioned previously with Tara, that we need the contracts back for that. Parcel E, we're still pursuing. Parcel E is at the transfer station. It's the installation over by the septic treatment area. We're still pursuing that at the various levels. The town has given us their concurrence. Now it's the Department of Transportation involving some setbacks and so forth. And finally, this isn't necessarily a CVEC item, but I shared some information with Joyce in regard to next door. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that application.
Yeah.
You are? Okay, yeah. So next door, there has been some chatter, comments going back and forth on photovoltaics, air conditioning, heat pumps, split systems, insulation, a variety of energy related subjects. So it's next door is organized by area. I know, I kind of look at the north side. There's South Yarmouth, West Yarmouth as its area. And I think, Joyce, you signed into that today.
Yep, I just joined. There are 300 people signed up under the sustainability following. So I didn't see any posting, but they might still have been finalizing, my membership. They sent me an email to confirm and stuff. So 300 people is a lot, and presumably they're all local.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
One thing I'm just trying to look up how many people in Yarmouth. There are probably about 6 different next door sites. On my neighborhood, the village of Yarmouthport, it's just 178 or something like that. We started at 20, and over the 5 years I've been coordinating that, it's up to that. But there's many more than 500, I think. So there's lots of that. So it's just for Yarmouth. It's a great place to put an advertisement. And in fact, right now there's one out there making it look like the state is inviting people to get free solar and even free roof replacement. So I put my name in the hat on that one to see what it was, and it turns out it's a Rhode Island-based company that's called State, like solar or something like that. So I didn't pursue it further because you can go down quite a rabbit hole with that. But there are companies advertising out there to try to make solar happen using, all of the incentives that still exist.
Okay.
Okay, some of the postings that I've seen are people looking for recommendations for suppliers, what have you. I did comment to someone who was asking for information to go to the Cape Light Compact website, and a couple of other people commented also that on the Compact website and Rise Engineering as valuable sources. So I think that just looking at the site and directing people in the right direction is something that would be along the lines of how we can help the community. And then maybe even a posting, something like, not an ad, as I would say, but a public service announcement on Nextdoor, letting people know that about the Energy Committee and the work that we're doing would be appropriate.
Okay. And Mike, you remember when we talked with Solarize, Mike, Bob, Sandra, when we talked with the Solarize Clean Energy Center people at one of our meetings, they suggested that several towns had really good luck with that. I think they were suburban towns around Boston, but the Nextdoor thing was mentioned as a good measure to reach people. So.
And so, Steve, are you suggesting that we post something about our energy committee, and if so, what? I'm happy to post it because I'm so used to that site. So there's like all these, we can post it pretty broadly across Yarmouth.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously something that the Solarize program should think about using as well, I should think.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's where my head goes, is for that one, but it's a good idea to think of if there's something else we want to put on before then.
Yeah.
It just cannot be the least bit political, because you just get hammered.
The link that we have at the town website is pretty dramatic. We come up with that presentation that talks about energy saving, what have you, that composite presentation. And then it kind of informs people as to what we're doing. If we just let people know about that at this point in time, and then as Solarize Mass or Solarize Yarmouth develops, put that up as a specific notice to the community.
So just a link to our website?
For a beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
For the beginning.
I can do that.
Okay.
Okay. So
I've got a question. Is this the same organization that I've had 2 mailings from saying everybody's doing it, and then given the address of somebody in the neighborhood who doesn't exist?
well, with a last name, with only a first name, so they might exist. I think it is.
Okay.
I
So they
got-
are serious, despite their amateurish way of trying to recruit me.
I got mine from the neighborhood organization. They sent me the information through them.
And what it is any existing member can reach out. So if somebody has your email, you're in there, there's a map that shows, it's like, this is my neighborhood. And I can click on any of those houses that don't yet belong and send them and have Nextdoor send them an email. And I might write a beautiful or a terrible little postcard. But in order to actually join, you have to prove that you live where you say you live.
Mhm.
And that's one of the beauties of it. So it's secure that way.
Susan, do you have a link or something you could send me so I could find out what this is all about?
Yeah, I've got it up on the screen right now, Mike. It's www.nextdoor.com. It's a business.
Oh, okay.
And it's free to neighbors. It's just if somebody wants to advertise their yard, their landscape business or something, people can for free put up recommendations, and that's what it's used for a lot.
Yeah.
And who's a plumber? And all kinds of people will recommend plumbers and such. So it's a great way to find out whatever you need. If there's a lost cat, you can put it up there, or somebody lost their keys when they went for a walk and somebody had found keys in their driveway. And so they said, here's your keys, come and get them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so we're all going to join, right? Steve will vouch for us all. Okay, if there's no other discussion of CVEC or questions for Steve, we'll move on. Our next agenda item is update on town energy progress. We got as much of that as we're going to get for this time, I think, but we had a lot last time. Then after that, we get to the Energy Committee Annual Operating Plan, and Mike Duffy has the floor.
Okay, Sandra, can you bring up the slide? That would
Okay.
be the number 1 slide. It says Energy Committee Annual Operating Plan. If you can't, I'll just talk to it.
No, I can.
There it is. Okay, so as we had mentioned last time, I think we were going to start looking for status report against these tasks. Task 1, assemble the energy usage baseline. I have the first 2. Task 2 was develop energy efficiency outreach materials. Joyce has the compact. Steve has the, my internet connection is unstable, so I would get frozen up.
Yeah,
Steve has the CVEC interaction, and then I have something else with vehicle efficiency standards. And then task 3 on energy conservation, basically the same sort of thing. Joyce with the compact, Steve with the co-op, and Barry with conserving vehicle fuel. So I'll show you what I've got done in the next slide there, Sandra. Okay, this is what I've been able to get so far on energy uses within the town of Yarmouth, both electric and natural gas. You'll notice that, at least on the electric, I've got for fiscal year in 2019 and 2020, the usage by all of the various town departments, the school facilities, then residential, commercial and industrial and low income, which are 3 breakdowns, nice to have. And over on the natural gas side, I have, of course, the town and the school facilities for 2019 and 2020. Those are fiscal years. They provided me calendar year data for 2018 on natural gas. Unfortunately, natural gas doesn't have low income as one of the breakouts. So part of the email traffic that took place over the last week or two, when I kind of asked was it National Grid to provide that information. And then I asked if they wanted somebody from the town. I asked Tara if she could do it. She couldn't. Joyce took the ball and ran with it and got somebody. Mary somebody? I don't know.
Mary Ellis Florio, yeah, Dan's assistant.
Yeah. Okay, so apparently she did send an email to this Amanda at National Grid, and sometime within the next few weeks, I should get that information. It's not.
I think you're supposed to get it by the end of the week, aren't you?
I don't know, but it's not that.
It will come.
I'm not going to really need it for several months, but nice to have it. Anyway, so that's what I've got. And at this point, I'd like to ask Joyce, Steve, and Barry if they have any progress to report on their individual pieces. Unless there's any questions on this data, by the way.
I wanted to ask if you want that to appear in the minutes.
I think it should.
Fine with me.
I agree.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you could circulate it, but if they circulate with the minutes, that'd be great.
Could you send me, the document?
Yeah, I'll send you a copy, Marilyn, after.
Okay.
Send it as a PDF, Mike.
PDF.
And if you can, I'll do that.
Okay.
I can, I think. So Joyce, do you have anything to report?
I do. You wanted us to ponder energy efficiency outreach materials, and for conservation, energy efficiency, and then also rebates. And I checked out and dug around on the Compact site, and we have some things that are already done by the Compact and done pretty well. I've just sent you 3 links, all of you, that I think you'll find pretty useful for those. And they have illustrations, they have nice discussions, they suggest a way to do it. And they also, for the energy efficiency stuff, have the latest on any residential rebates. Now that's on the residential side. I haven't looked at the business stuff yet, because it seems to me that most of our work here is going to be residential. But obviously there are things as well on the business Cape Light Compact side, but sorry, solarized side. But I think that that will be a kind of totally different marketing approach. So we might want to adapt some of those materials, and we might want to use some Compact and some not. I also have an idea that I'd like to run by you, which is whether it would make sense, and I realize email is old-fashioned, but so am I, whether it would make sense to have an email outreach effort that would go to an email list that we would accumulate. We already have people who are, certainly I grabbed the email from everybody I was having sign up for the petitions. We also have, what was it, 115 or so, Susan, from the Vineyard Wind petition drive to the selectmen, and we have all of their emails. We'd have a good base, I think, if we wanted to get started on an email operation. There may be reasons to do things by Nextdoor or by Twitter. They're just not things that I have ever worked with. A thing that I thought about that would be especially interesting to people new to Yarmouth, but might be a way into it for everybody, would be to have a sort of introduction to Yarmouth and its physical features, and pose the problem how to make the human life here sustainable. And with that, have a map of Yarmouth, and have all sorts of information about Yarmouth. You know, the length of the coastlines and the number of houses, which I know that we already have dwelling numbers from Tara, and things like that. And I thought that that could be followed. That could be a #1 email, and that could be followed by 11 emails, so that it would go for the year that our project goes. But that first one would be a teaser, because it would be a lot of information that people would not be able to find elsewhere. They'd kind of plug into Yarmouth as physical environment, you know, how many ponds and what percentage is forested and things like that. And we'd there give them the beginnings of some information that they could use to become more sustainable. For example, I found out from the water department that the water temperature coming out of the ground in Yarmouth is 55 degrees. So, you know, it gets maybe a little warmer or a little cooler in the above ground tanks, but that gives us something to work with to suggest things for water heating and how much water has to be heated. I pictured that this could be a series of individual topics, but they would sort of build on each other. But that the first one would be that Yarmouth one, with interesting information that also reminded people a lot about the natural state of Yarmouth, but at the same time, the human activity in Yarmouth with the say energy usage and the number of houses and that kind of thing. I'd be willing to do these if we decide to do this for the first week of every month for 12 months. I'm not sure it's the right medium, but I've done constant contact email stuff before, so I throw it out there as a possible.
Yeah.
Reinvent the wheel. It would just, you know, there would be a little discussion of something, and then there would be links to take people elsewhere.
Could these be posted on Nextdoor somehow?
You know, I've only been a member of Nextdoor for 2 hours, so I would be the wrong person to ask.
Yeah. My opinion would be on that is that Nextdoor, well, I just found out it does have like almost 2,000 people in Yarmouth, but not everybody looks at it every day, and it's not necessarily the kinds of things they're looking for there. So for us to have a targeted list of people that we have some idea are kind of interested, and to not overwhelm them with too many, like, so once a month would be, or even once a quarter might even be good enough. But I think it's great because a lot of us that are of a certain age still prefer email over other social media
Exactly.
things.
And I wasn't necessarily committing to doing this permanently, but for like a 12-month finite period that went along with this operating plan and paralleled our solarized time, it seemed like it would be valuable to do if it was thought to be the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Sandra, could you back up to the previous chart? Great. All right, Barry, do you have anything you want to, any progress on the number of EVs in Yarmouth?
No, I mean, I think we have established that no one in the state has that kind of data, and that so I have been talking with folks in the Clean Energy Center who work on clean transportation issues to encourage them to initiate a request from, ideally from somebody in the Executive Office of Energy Resources, because they have now a clean transportation program manager in the Secretary's office, to basically initiate a request to the registry, which probably is the only potential source of that information. And they all agree that they should try to do that, but I don't think we're going to be able to get it for Yarmouth unless somebody can get it basically as on a statewide level, as a transaction between the registry and the DOER.
Have you been able to talk to anybody at the organization that was responsible for establishing this goal of, what was it, 200,000 EVs in the state? And how are they going to basically prove that they meet that or don't?
No, I mean, I have made that point in each conversation, and everyone agrees that it's not going to be meaningful to have that goal unless they
Measure
get
it.
the data. So there's no disagreement, and everybody's also aware that everybody wants the data. Just no, as far as I can tell, nobody's actually tried to get the key person in Department of Energy Resources to initiate the request to the registry. And folks are a little skeptical as to whether the registry will ever be willing to do the work it would take to get it, because it's not a simple single computer run. They're going to have to look at the level of individual vehicle ID numbers. But if there's any way to do it, it would be through the registry. But nobody else has comprehensive information on what vehicles are located in the state.
Is
So
that-
I will continue to pursue in trying to get the folks might at least get an audience with the registry. It's going to have to be somebody out of the governor's administration.
Does that require a modification to the existing registration form for cars in the state where there would be a box to click off if it was an electric vehicle?
That would be an improvement, but that wouldn't get you it would get you information going forward for new registrations. It wouldn't get you the existing vehicle base. And it seems to me the first question is, can the registry get the answer from its existing data? And my guess is they can, but they'd have to want to. And again, unless somebody in the administration asks them and follows up, I don't think they're going to respond to an outside citizen request. Just, it's.
But with regard to the registration, I mean, you have to address that every 2 years, right? Isn't that right? You register your car for, is it 2 years at a time?
Yeah. Is there anything on the registry registration application that indicates what kind of car it is, whether it's an EV or a hybrid or a
No,
internal combustions?
no, there's nothing that indicates the kind of engine. It doesn't even get to the level of the model. All you get is the make. So there's except for Tesla, on the face of the registration form, nothing would tell you if it's an EV or a hybrid. So that the registry would have to go beyond the form. But I assume that the data exists between the registries around the country and the manufacturers to identify vehicle ID numbers that are electric vehicles. But it's, as I said, it's not going to be as simple as just, it's one question doing one computer run and you get the answer. So the registry is going to have to be motivated to solve the problem.
Yeah.
I think this is important because as more and more hybrids and electric vehicles get on the road, the highway tax on gasoline is going to become less and less with the same or more vehicle usage. Is the legislature looking at, or even the Department of Revenue looking at that kind of thing?
The only thing I can say is I've seen stuff where they're aware of the future problem, and believe me, they'll find a way around it to get more money from us to keep the roads going. Okay, Steve, do you have anything to report?
Well, I would second Joyce's recommendation to refer to the Cape Light Compact website. And the website does have a business section as well as a homeowner section. So you can have assessments, and I imagine it's done by Rise Engineering for your business. There's business rebate information on the website. So there's, they talk about new business and construction and renovation information. So I think really most of it is addressed on the, if not all, on the Cape Light Compact website.
Okay, so CVEC would probably not have any additional information to provide.
Well, the interaction that we have is with the various towns, the municipalities, the special districts, and what have you. We point out to them, for example, the selectman and the town manager here in Yarmouth, some of the advantages of going with CVEC in terms of photovoltaic installation. So that's unique, if you will, to CVEC. And as I mentioned earlier, we did go out with a formal letter to all towns, and in particular Yarmouth, for round 6 projects. And we have sat down with Ed Santino just recently to go over the demand requirements for the town versus the supplies that we have in place and future supplies of PV that could be provided. So that's the kind of outreach, if you will, to the town and municipalities and special districts.
Just one thing to inject around the question of potential business participation in all of this. In a conversation with some folks at the Compact the other day, they flagged the fact that the vast majority of business accounts in Yarmouth and probably all over the Cape are really small businesses, like storefronts and the like, for whom solar power would be roughly the same scale as a homeowner's installation.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I mean, this is a big picture question that it's not necessarily a different kind of installation for most small businesses than it would be for homeowners. So that we might think differently about that distinction. You know, many small businesses might be able to take advantage of the same kind of installations that we'd be offering homeowners. That hadn't occurred to me before, but.
Steve, with regard to these projects that CVEC undertakes, are there, like, for instance, any in the town of Yarmouth that they would have put out a 1 or 2 page blurb that toots the success of that particular project or something? That would be something we could latch on to.
Well, as I say, it's with the 2 major entities that we deal with are the town itself and the BY school district. So we do not deal with any individuals, businesses, what have you.
Well, that's okay, but I mean, I'm just wondering.
CVEC by its charter is limited to certain types of municipal entities that we deal with.
Oh, Steve, I think Mike is asking you where he'd go to read up on the projects in Yarmouth. Your CVEC website has good stuff, right?
Yeah, the CVEC website has that.
Well, it's not so much that. It's just that maybe there are some relatively small town or school projects that they had undertaken, and somebody wrote up a 1-page fact sheet on it that might be you might be able to wave around and say this same thing could be transferable to your business or your home or something.
Yeah, if you go to the website, the CVEC website, there's data on there for a whole variety of installations that talks about the size. It gives a daily, a week, a monthly, a yearly presentation of electrical energy that's been developed or supplied from that particular site. So there's a lot of information that you can see on the website itself.
Do you think you could extract anything that, since you're most familiar with?
I would almost direct people to the website, let them become aware of the website, that it does exist. That here's how we're helping the town's finances, for example, by seeing how much PV energy is being developed, or the school district, all the good things that are being done. I think that's the appropriate message to send out to people to make them aware of that website, as well as the Cape Light Compact website, and let them use that, become familiar with it, and get the information that they need from those sites. Joyce, do you have any comment?
No, I think I think the compact here is maybe of more help to us than CVEC, but the real help we have in Yarmouth from CVEC is Steve and Liz and their expertise in solar.
And now Maria Marasco, who's on board actually.
Oh, right, and the new person with the law degree, right?
Yes, and has worked at the state level in projects of this sort.
If this were not COVID-19 time, we would have her to a meeting with refreshments, but what can we do?
Yeah.
Okay, just to wrap this section of the meeting up, let me just say that I'd like to present this basically this page you're looking at right now every month, and I would ask anybody who's got a name on there if they could put together a one-page status report on anything that they may want to say about those individual subtasks that have their names attached to them.
Mike, if I could throw in on the conserving vehicle fuel piece,
Yeah.
I did a little while ago circulate a couple of attachments that address that directly, one from AAA and one from New York DOT, that are kind of, the New York one particularly is like a 2-page synopsis of what you can do if you want to save fuel. I've got questions about whether that
Keep the car tuned, keep the tires pumped up, all that sort of stuff.
the biggest one is drive slower.
Drive slow.
They chart out how much you save if you lower your speeds.
Back to 55, huh?
Less, but anyway, so that is actually in everybody's inbox.
Okay.
Yeah, Barry, I was just looking at that and I wonder, do you happen to know, or does anybody, the impact of idling, especially, I've heard people who own Priuses like I do, that it's okay to idle if you've got a hybrid because it's using the battery. And that would be very interesting to know if that's true.
Yeah, Susan, on that, the engine starts and stops of its own volition. Sometimes when you're, stopped, the engine goes off. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you're sitting there and it turns itself on. It all has to do with the algorithm of the interaction of the two moving parts.
Thanks.
But on the whole, you might, if you're if you're moving in a queue, like going through, a Wendy's drive up, you're obviously saving money there compared with, a regular, even diesel engine.
Yeah.
Unless you turn the engine off every time you turn it off when you stop, and then turn it on when you move another 10 feet.
Mike, I have a question before we leave the operating plan. I mean, I know for this time we were only talking about the first 3, but I have a question about my responsibilities in task 4. Can you let me know the scope of addressing soft costs?
I'll have to go back to my notes to look it up. I don't have it right here now, but I mean, I think it's the sort of things like permits, for instance, is a soft cost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to think what it could be, and I wondered if it was maybe like that you would have to hire a qualified electrician for the solarized link up, or I just wasn't sure on that. So anyway, maybe we could talk more and I could get a better sense of what you want there.
You have the plan, look back in the plan and see if it's described in more detail right there. I don't have it in front of me right now.
Okay.
Okay, Barry, just going back to task 3, I would think maybe consumer reports would have some information on various models of cars and performance characteristics and so forth, insofar as fuel economy and so forth. And they're pretty straightforward when they talk about their assessment of the vehicles and what's good and what's not so good, or ways of using your vehicle. Let's see, did that come through or?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Joyce, I guess that takes care of this particular item.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mike, but no rest for the weary. You're the next item as well. An update on Solarize.
Sandra, you got that one, page 3 there?
Oh, I just shut it down, sorry.
Oh.
And you did tell me that, so my apologies. I clicked it and then shut it down.
Okay, next page. Next page. There you go. Okay, so during August, the Solarize effort, one thing I did was read an official notification that we got this $11,000 grant to the Board of Selectmen, which there were a fair number of people in the audience, plus anybody that would have been watching it on TV. Anybody here watch it on TV, by the way?
No, but I looked at it the other day after discussing, what I was going to be doing, and you having sent the written version of it, and it's the beginning of the meeting is really a little bit hectic there, but I mean, it certainly was. Listening to you was better than reading the actual text. I felt I got more out of it just listening to you, even though I had read the text myself about 20 minutes earlier.
Well, glad to hear that. Okay, I see a little typo on the next bullet there. Air source heat pumps. I don't know what those are. Anyway, I did prepare a list of frequently asked questions for both solar photovoltaic and air source heat pumps. Provided those to Sandra, and I'm not sure what the status is. Sandra, what's the status?
Okay, I have been preparing the website a little bit at a time because my brain is mush on the weekends. So I'm getting most of that up and into a format so that we can put it together. But that is not completed.
Okay, that's fine. I think we've got time, plenty of time here.
Don't say that to me because I won't stay motivated. I am like a zombie.
Hey, we need it Friday. We need it Friday.
Friday, you might not get it, but the weekend I'm going to be working. We get 3 days.
Labor Day weekend. You don't want to be working Labor Day weekend.
Sandy, that's your busiest weekend all year, right? Labor Day weekend?
Well, I'm lucky we have a little reprieve. We're not starting until September 16th. Maybe.
And then on the 17th, are you going to go on vacation?
17th is my birthday. I'm going to go out of town.
Okay, so the FAQs are probably more intended for members of the public who don't know anything about this stuff and want to get some of their questions answered. They can go to that. But at least early on in this whole effort, we talked about training materials for us volunteers so that they would be more knowledgeable than what is available in the FAQs. I've started pulling some of that stuff together, primarily from what Lisa has been sending us from CEC. Unfortunately, I mean, the stuff that she sends, though, I mean, it would take you days to go through it. So I got to boil it down. I mean, even for the volunteers, I can't see much more than an hour's worth of stuff on each one of them would be overkill probably. So it may take me a while to get that through. And the other thing is, I don't know how, if we really need it. I think it'll be up to each individual and volunteer how much they want to learn, so how comfortable they will feel if they're talking to members of the public and trying to sell them a PV system or an air source heat pump system. So that's going to be a good month or so away anyways, but maybe October we might have something for that. So all the next ones are going to turn over the next one to you, Sandra. Anything you want to say about the website, logo, email, and cell phone?
All right.
Bob and then Barry.
The teacher at the high school has not returned any of my emails at this point, so I will continue to do that on the logo. The website I am working on, I have changed it from the platform that I was at to the new platform to start up. I have not been able to get in touch with Angela, but I don't think it's really going to matter because it's going to be a link off of our website, which I maintain, though I still will check with her to make sure that it is okay. And then the cell phone, that would, the dedicated cell phone, we would have to get the money. I am assuming you're going to do a track phone. And that you just, with the grant money that we get, then you can just pick up a track phone at Verizon, Kmart, wherever they have them, and do it that way.
Okay, and the email?
And the email is going to be incorporated into the site. So Dan has got us all set up for that. And I will just, once I do the website and everything, confirm with Dan that everything is okay, and then we're up and running.
Do we have an email name now or not?
It's solarize@yarmouth.mass.us.
Thanks, Joyce. I couldn't remember.
And then
So it's going to be a town email.
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
he granted us that, yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Joyce, did we talk about that? Anything that comes in on that email then being forwarded to you and me?
Yep. Dan sent an email to us and said that's who will get it, and then we can forward it if it should go to somebody else. There's one caveat though, Mike. Either you or I have to change our legal name to Solarize.
Okay. All right, Bob, you kind of already went through your public service announcement, right?
Yeah.
You did, Joyce, were you here when he went into that, or was that before you even got there?
No, she's the one that instigated it.
No, I mean, today, though, when you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, then, the warrant for the fall town meeting, Barry. I don't know if you got my list of signups, but they were in the mail yesterday, so.
So
Checked in the mail.
great. So we now have over 170 signatures on each petition, which is plenty. I have 110 of them in my hands, so 61 are still outstanding. But most of that is from Steve Gavin and Mike and Joyce. And so it may be in my mailbox now, but great work from Steve and Mike and Joyce. It was a big chunk of the total. But this worked without a huge amount of grief. And waiting for word from the town offices as to when we need to actually submit them to the clerk. I just want to make sure they're actually ready to receive them before I take them there.
Okay, that's all I have on the Solarize report, Joyce.
Okay, thanks, Mike. So, good heavens, we're moving along quickly, even though we're having our chats. Final item, members' comments and proposed future agenda items. Steve, did you want to mention that conference that's coming up?
Yes, it's every year every year the ACES, the American Solar Energy Association, puts on a solar tour, and this is throughout the country. It's actually a visits to home and businesses. That's the way it's been handled in the past. People in the community host if you will, an open house. They're invited to come to your house and talk about your installation and what they might do if they're interested in an installation. This year it's virtual, and I can send out some information, or it's actually it's the website is Solar Tour, one word, at ases.org. But there's going to be virtual events, as I say, building tours, home tours, and what have you. But I can send out a link to you all, or if we put it in the minutes also. But it's the end of this month, September 28th to October 4th, for this National Solar Tour.
I think that might be a good thing to put on, talk about on my spot next. When is the tour?
It's September 28th to October 4th. I can, if you want, I can run it over to your house, or I could forward this.
Yeah, just forward it to me.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Forward it to me too, Steve. Are you going to forward it to everybody?
Sure.
Okay. One question for Bob. Bob, you're gonna be on a Zoom meeting, to say when? Wednesday or?
It's Thursday morning. It's
Okay.
it's
So
basically instead of doing the spot in the studio, we're doing it. I will be interviewed by somebody.
okay. Now, presumably they will record that and then it will be on the TV sometime.
Yeah,
Will you let us know? Will you let us know when it's
yeah,
going to be?
they'll probably do a little bit of the editing, a little bit of editing, and if I give them some URLs, they may have to do some graphics, inserts and with addresses and stuff like that.
Okay, but let us know when they're going to air it.
Yes. It's going to be on some sort of bulletin that they do of upcoming activities, I think.
I know, I think I caught in one of the emails you sent out that you said PSR, which I assume was public service
Announcements.
notification. So if it's a public service, they shouldn't be charging us for
No,
it.
they're not charging us for this thing. It's
No.
it's if we do some promotional materials there, I think is.
It wouldn't still be public service.
Well, technically,
Works for me.
technically the media center and the various channels that they operate are all public services.
Okay.
Okay. I had
Any other member? Oh, go ahead.
Yes, I had a question for Barry in regard to the warrant. Barry, the one of the warrants talks about the Old Kings Highway and photovoltaics in the Old Kings Highway Historic District. And it talks about approving installations of rooftop solar panels in areas where there are overhead utility lines or roof-type satellite receivers. My question is this: Route 6A has overhead utility wiring. Would this allow, for example, solar panels to be put on houses that directly face Route 6A, that are visible from 6A?
Well, town meeting doesn't have the authority to force the Old Kings Highway Commission to do anything. It's an autonomous, empowered by state legislation.
Right.
But this is calling on the Old Kings Highway Commission to look more favorably on solar than they have historically, including on 6A. And, you know, we are, since it looks now like the other towns on the Cape are going to be trying to do something similar to Solarize over the next year, outside of the Solarize program itself, since there's no more funding. This is going to affect all of the towns in the Old Kings Highway District. So we
There
are,
are some other historical districts as well. I mean, we've got the Bass River, one in Yarmouth. Dennis has that area around South Dennis Historical District. So, I mean, it's not just the Old Kings Highway part.
We were able to break on the South Dennis Historical to get the solar on the Wixon School. It was not easy, but we did persuade them, and we got a full field with cutting down of all the trees. And the only recommendation was to put trees in front to stop us, you know, that visual effect from the road.
Yeah, the only, on Pine Street, my street, the only solar installation we have is a ground mount at the back of the lot, hidden by a veil of trees.
Yeah, my neighbor has it on the back of their house, and it's not visible from a way, as they some of the requirements the historical districts require those types of installations not to be visible from a public way. The reason I brought it up is that some people that I've approached have trouble with item 2.
mm-hmm.
Okay, and they, you know, they cite 6A as a particular specific instance where they would, you know, really have trouble.
No, I mean, I understand that this is not a no-brainer, and you know, we talked with Senator Sears' office about what we can do about it, potentially at the state legislative level, and at maybe the ideal outcome being a resolution that the Old Kings Highway Commission will tolerate solar everywhere except 6A, because the district is enormous. In Yarmouth, it's a third of all the houses in town. You can be down right off Route 6, where there's no historic significance at all to the properties, and still be blocked by the commission. So this is one piece of a strategy to press the Old Kings Highway folks to consider making more room for solar. I don't think this by itself is going to do it. It's only one of the towns, but it is an obstacle to solar in a huge part of the Cape.
And have you talked to the Old Kings Highway, the Yarmouth Old Kings Highway folks about this particular?
I haven't directly.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, if we were meeting in person, you know, we would ask Rick in, and you know, he's come to, you know, a couple of our meetings before on invitation, and we would talk with him and have refreshments. But what are we going to do? Okay, any other member items or requests to put things on a future agenda?
Can I just say something? With the new school opening, Mike, I will tell you that the energy probably will not be saved in the next year with this pandemic for the requirements in ventilation and what they're going to be doing to the classrooms. It's going to be an incredible increase in energy, an incredible increase in energy, running everything full bore 24/7. opening windows,
Marie?
and you name it. It is not a natural way of doing any of this, but it is what it is. So just an FYI, the pandemic will definitely be an impact on the energy savings.
We'll just explain it. That's all. That's all we can do.
Okay. Well, if
Yeah,
we
I
don't
was-
have any other
Joyce, I-
items, is there a motion?
Joyce, I had just one thing. Hold on. Is maybe
Oh, sure.
windows open in her school?
I think so, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not
okay.
I don't want to.
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't want to say.
Hi, Anne Marie.
Hello.
This may just be a rumor, but in Barnstable, I think they're
It
wrestling
might. I can't.
with the requirement to have the, like
Because of
Sandy
the air
said,
quality.
they might have the requirement to keep the windows open.
At some bit.
At some bit in order to,
All the time.
all the time.
And I think the school buses have to have the windows open.
Yes,
But.
that is true.
Yeah, I'm not.
That is true. It's the MTA that is pushing this.
Okay, so,
So that's it.
yeah.
That was a
but-
member of the public who was
Yeah,
speaking to
but
us.
I'm not positive. So that's why
Okay,
I.
so it's a rumor.
It's not a rumor.
Thank you, Anne Marie.
It's true, Anne Marie.
Okay, thanks.
It is true. It will be happening. And I think that Nauset is only going to be doing remote because they have problems with their ventilation. So we still haven't got our report back. However, I've had 7 years that I've been trying to get the energy management program, and I've been trying to fix all of the controls that we would have needed to do the ventilation properly like they want, but that has been denied at Capitol all the way up. So this past year, I have been working with Cape Light Compact to work on rebates in order to get the energy management system. So I went around the box and I looked outside to try
Cindy,
to see how.
remember this gets screened publicly.
Yes. So I went outside and then just had Cape Light Compact work for the rebates. And I was hoping that the school district could do a bonding. So hopefully that can still happen, but it depends on what the expenses are with all of the pandemic. So I have a 5-year strategic plan to get the energy management system up and running and to do the things that we need to do for the ventilation.
One correction on your agenda, Joyce. The last item, adjourn until Tuesday, October 6th. It should be, not September 1.
Oh, shoot. I was supposed to change that and I forgot. Two people, Tara and Sandy, pointed that out to me and pointed out that I seem to be losing track of months and seasons in the pandemic. Sorry about that.
She reversed it on the minute she put the October, and on the agenda she did the September. That's
Yeah.
all.
It's getting really hard to know even what day of the week it is.
You got that right.
You got it.
Well, it's lovely to see you all, even in this weird format, and to hear your voices. And I hope you have a wonderful month of September. And if anyone wants to adjourn, we can.
Motion that we adjourn happily.
Seconded, happily.
Okay. All in favor, happily?
Happily, yes.
Happily.
Hi. Okay. Well, thank you all for carving out an hour and a half on such a beautiful day, and run out and get some of the rest of the sunshine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for all the work you do.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Joyce. Bye.